You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts on who you are because you're watching that garbage.
From the Blackbird Studios in sunny North Cambridge, it's the Rave X 10-minute podcast. And now, Rave X.
T-Money, thank you. My name is Rave X. This is the Rave X 10-minute podcast, although we are going to go a little bit long today. Episode 14, How to Deal with Crazy. Yeah, we're recording this February 4th, 2017. All right, let's get right down to it. I am currently packing up the Blackbird Studios because I'm going to be moving to another Blackbird Studios, a temporary studio, while they renovate and demo out my sweet studio apartment. Apparently, the property managers don't think my floors are shiny enough, so I have to leave for a month while they redo my floors. So if you can see this place now, it is just boxes and just it's a right shithole, except for the recording equipment that I record this very podcast on. So, I'll tell you right now, I'm not happy. But I've taken time out of my busy schedule of packing to help inform you guys on the right and proper way to deal with crazy, complete with 3 stories about people who unfortunately have lost their fucking mind. Now, if you listen to this show, I'm sure you've heard me say that we're all fucking a bunch of crazy narcissists. I have 3 examples here, and then we're going to talk about them. The first example was a crazy guy on the train. I know, right? There's so many fucking crazy people on the train. So, I'm on the Green Line, and I get off, and I see this crazy guy. He's got like, he's got plastic bags tied to his feet. He's wearing a shower cap, and he's wrapped in like a fireman's blanket. Other than that, he's just wearing like camo pants and like a short sleeve shirt. And he's just talking to himself and carrying on. Now, I can't stand being around crazy people, and I can't quite describe it. I have to get up and I have to run because somehow I just feel like their fucking crazy will seep into my brain and fuck me up. And look, at the end of the day, your car, your TV, your whatever, all of that shit can go. But if your mind goes, you're fucking done. So I'm very protective of my mind, what I have left of it. So when I see someone who's crazy and out of their fucking mind, I always try to be as far away as possible. Even to the point where if I'm on the bus or the train and someone gets on and they're fucking yelling crazy shit and stomping their feet, I'll get off and wait for the next fucking train. I cannot be around crazy people. So I see this guy, he's clearly crazy. He's just talking to himself like, y'all can't tell me what to do. I'm the one who makes the rules around here, motherfucker. Hey, what are you looking at me for? Yeah, as you can tell by that impression, he was Asian. That's my Asian man impression. So I see this guy, and I get down to the platform to wait for the red line to come back to the Blackbird Studios, and I notice that he's across the track from me, and I'm happy about that because I don't want to be near this fucking insane man. So he's yelling and screaming, whatever. The train comes, doors open on both sides. I get on. I'm sitting there. He gets on, and where do you think he sits? Oh, yeah. So at this point, I can't take it. I'm thinking about getting up to move. The train's kind of crowded. Maybe I should stay where I'm at. And right before the doors close, some preppy white dude puts his hand through the door that's about to close, and he says, sir, I just wanted to give you this. And he gives the crazy guy, it's like a sandwich and a bag of chips and a bottle of water that I guess he just ran and purchased for the crazy guy. Now, the fucking crazy guy's like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You gonna give me food. I need my food right now, motherfucker. He know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, my God. Do not encourage or support or enable crazy. And I couldn't take it. I'm not going to lie to you because he sits there. He starts licking his fucking fingers. Mind you, he's wearing a shower cap and a fireman's blanket, and he's got plastic bags tied to his feet. That's all I need to know. So I don't want to hear, but Rave, you don't know if he was crazy. Hello? The plastic bags tied to his feet is all I need to know. And he's eating this fucking sandwich, and I stood up. And I didn't even realize I said this out loud, but I said, I am not sitting next to the fucking crazy guy on the T. And I got up, and I walked off to another chair. And the funny thing was, when I got up and walked off, everyone looked at me like, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? What's the matter with you, man? Oh, come on, man. And this is the thing that pisses me off, is because where your instincts will tell you, look, I go with instincts, right? For the most part, not all the fucking time. But when my spider sense goes off and says, get out of here, I get up and I fucking go. But we're constantly being told that we have to deal with crazy, and we have to tolerate people who are out of their mind, and if you don't, you're a bad person. Well, let me tell you something. I am not sitting next to the fucking crazy guy in the shower cap with the plastic bags tied to his feet. Okay? Fine, I'm a bad guy. Also, I'm not going to buy them a fucking sandwich. Because all you're doing is you're letting them know that whatever crazy thing they got going on, you're telling them it's okay because you're rewarding bad behavior, right? It's kind of like, they tell you not to feed stray dogs. Why? Because they keep coming back. Who the fuck wants stray dogs in their backyard, right? And so, to the upper-class, preppy white dude who bought this dumb, insane son of a bitch a sandwich, I know what you look like, man. And if I see you, boom, people's hook kick to the face. Thank you. Now, some people will say, well, you got to help out your fellow person. Here's the thing. No homeless guy laying in a puddle of his own fecal matter has ever been redeemed and rehabilitated, and then a couple of months later they're a fucking senator going, oh, I used to be homeless. Look, if you're homeless and you're down on your luck, I will literally give you the hat off my head, which I did. I went to my brother's house for Thanksgiving a few years back, saw this homeless guy who was freezing. I took off my hat, gave it to him. Well, first I said, would you like this hat? He said, no. And then I said, it's cold out. And he said, okay, fine. I gave him my skull cap, and I just went out and I bought a new hat at the store that I was standing in front of. But when you're out of your mind, there is a chemical imbalance. There's something chemically wrong that you cannot fix with a fucking ham and cheese sandwich. You know what I mean? The best thing we can do is to stay away from it, not help them out at all. And this is going to sound harsh here. The insane people will die out. Now, we're always going to have crazy people. But you can't subsidize them and help them out, because the crazy just keeps going and going and going like the goddamn insane Energizer Bunny. So my thing is this. We eliminate the crazy people by not giving them anything. Now, if you're a mother of 3 and you've got some postpartum depression, that's a whole different story. Okay? But when you're drawing swastikas on your face with a magic marker and you're swimming in the public fountain, there is nothing we can do for you. You're insane. So the crazy guy on the train, he's fucking insane. Hopefully he's been hit by a bus and I don't ever have to deal with him again. Okay? Now, the next one is a crazy guy who I used to see in the food court where I work all the time. He's an older gentleman. He's probably about 60. And I would see him all the time. And what he would do is he would just walk around and get right up close to people while you were trying to have your lunch at the table. And then he would say, are you going to finish that slice of pizza? And then what most people would do is they would look up at this guy, with these big Coke bottle glasses, and he's wearing a big, big winter trench coat type thing, and he's carrying bags that are ironically filled with bags. That's just the mark of the tards, I guess. And he would ask people if they were going to finish whatever food they were eating or whatever. And people would always do the same thing. I would see people do the same thing. They would go, all right, here, man, you can just have this. And he'd go, oh, okay, thank you. And he would grab the fucking slice of pizza and just shove it in their mouth, and grease and cheese is sliding down his face, and he'd wipe his mouth with the sleeve, and he'd stumble over to someone else, and he'd go, are you going to finish that soda? I'm really thirsty. And they would go, here, man, just have this soda. And I would see this guy around the food court all the time for years, at least 2 years. And one day, wouldn't you guess, this fucking crazy, insane son of a bitch walks up to me, Raven Montgomery Xavier, when I'm eating lunch in the food court. Mind you, when I eat food, I'm like a dog. I just want to be left alone. Don't touch me, don't talk to me, let me just eat my food, and then we can go back to whatever dance of the tards you want to fucking talk about, but not while I'm eating. Thank you. So, he comes up to me and he says, are you gonna finish? And right there, I fucking stopped him. And I said, get away from me, or I'll break your fucking neck. And wow, I wish I had video of this. He jumped back and his head shook and his jowls shook back and forth. And he kind of grabbed his belongings, his little bag that's filled with other bags. And he looked at me. He couldn't believe it. He looked at me and turned and slowly walked away. And you know what? He has never bothered me again. And I have not seen him in quite some time. Here's the thing. Just like the crazy guy on the train with the bags on his feet. This guy goes around bothering people at lunchtime when we should be left alone to eat. And everyone says, oh, here, you can have this. Or, oh, you're thirsty? Here, have my soda. Again, all you're doing is you're telling the fucking crazy guy, yeah, come back and bother people. Because we love that. We're going to give you food. But what your boy Rave does is, man, the fucking foot's going down, baby. You come up to me, I'm going to bash your face in with a brick. I mean, not really, guys. You know what I'm saying. But I definitely do the thing in the wild that the silverback gorilla would do. Gorilla, is that word that hard to say? Come on. Where you puff your chest out and you let them know to leave me the fuck alone. And you know what they do? They move on. Now, I know this doesn't sound nice, but you know what? We are animals just like every other animals. We happen to just be a little bit more aware of it. And in the wild, these insane people would never exist. They wouldn't exist. They wouldn't last. Right? It's like when all the gazelles are running east away from a lion, the one gazelle who goes, I'm going to run to the west. Well, he gets eaten by a lion. But we don't have any natural predators because we're human beings. So the crazy just fucking, it's like a bad infection. It's like a cancer that just keeps growing and growing and growing. And we're always told we have to just deal with it. Your boy Rave says no. People's hook kick. That's how you deal with crazy. Now, I don't know why more people don't just treat crazy fucking people how they are. I don't know why we subsidize crazy so much. And it can be anything. You might have a crazy roommate. And you go, well, that's just how Todd is. Now, Todd needs to fucking go. You got crazy. Look, I've always said this. Do whatever you can, whenever possible, to eliminate all forms of dysfunction and crazy from your life, man. You'll be better off for it. Trust me. It doesn't matter if, the place you go to get your car tuned up, well, they do a good job, but the guy's crazy. Then don't go there. And little by little, these people that are insane, the guy on the bus, the crazy guy in the food court, they will find themselves isolated and alone. And then maybe, if we're lucky, and only if we're lucky, maybe they'll just throw themselves off a fucking building. Right? Anyway, that's my opinion on that, man. Just an opinion. So, this next story is really crazy. This one threw me for a loop, because I'm used to dealing with crazy because I ride the public fucking transportation. Until I get my Arabian Stallion horse, which I'm going to ride to work on every day. Thank you. I'm going to name him Stampy. So I'm on the bus, because when it's summertime, I like to take the bus. You know, I like to be outside as much as possible. I'm not a homebody. I hate being on the train. It's all claustrophobic. You're in a tunnel. So when the weather's good, I like to get on the bus, man, get some sun, see the ladies. Yeah. So I get on the bus. If you ever rode the bus, it's got the double seats. Right sort of behind where the side door is, there's double rows of seats, you know. And I'm sitting close to the window. I always try to sit close to the window because I hate when people knock into me with their stupid backpacks. And there's a guy sitting next to me. In front of me are two chairs. All right, you getting the picture here? There's a guy in front of me, and to my diagonal left is a 27-year-old blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl. So we're on Mass Ave, and we hit the bridge. Now, when we hit the bridge and the sun is glistening off the State House and you see the Charles River and it looks like the fucking postcard of Boston. Having a great time. Wish you were here. Yeah, it looks like that postcard. So, this dumb broad pulls out her phone, her stupid iPhone. And, of course, the front of it's shattered because every woman I know, their fucking cell phone cover is shattered because women are clumsy and they have tiny little doll hands and they drop their phone all the time. But I digress. She starts queuing up the camera on her phone, and then she reaches over to her diagonal right, which is, in my face, and she sticks her cell phone in her hand, literally 2 inches from my face. Now, if you know what 2 inches is, it's not a lot of space. And she's pointing the phone half at my face, half out of my window, because I guess she wanted to take a picture. And I very delicately and gently, with the back of my hand, moved her stupid hand and her phone away from me. And I think I said something like, "Oh, come on, man, really?" And now what I thought, because I'm a civilized human being, and I expect everyone to behave as such, I thought she was going to go, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know what? I just wanted to take a picture. I didn't even realize that I shoved my phone in your face." I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, sir. And then I would tip my top hat to her and throw my cape over my shoulder, and I would say, good day to you, ma'am. But that's not what happened, kids. She fucking snaps. Don't you ever touch my phone. I wasn't taking a picture of your face. No one cares about you. Blah, blah. And this fucking chick, like if she could have shot laser beams out of her eyes and grew horns, she would have. And I'm sitting there like, wow, I did not think this 103-pound white girl was about to go off on me like a heavy-set woman of color named Shaniqua. Hey. Oh, yeah. And let me tell you why. Goes back to the first Rave X episode. She's an attractive, hot blonde, and everybody wants to fuck her, so she's never heard no. She's never had anyone say, don't do that. But I don't care about her, right? She goes off. She's going nuts. She's kind of turned around in her chair, pointing at me, yelling and screaming. The thing that pissed me off was the guy next to me didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. I don't need him to defend me, but it would have been nice if he said, hey, lady, you fucking turned around and stuck your phone in his face. What do you expect him to do? But no, because he's a coward. Everyone's a coward. The guy sitting next to her just kind of put his head down and pulled his hat over his head because he's a fucking coward. Now, I look around, and I'm thinking, what can I do? Well, the great Kung Fu master Goken had this move called the power of nothing, where he did nothing, but it fucked the other person up more. Oh, that's right. Goken, he trained Akuma, and Ken, and Ryu. Sure fucking did. So, I just sit there, and I turn, and I start looking out the window, and she's still yelling at me, don't you fucking touch my phone! And then she realizes, oh my God, I'm making a fucking scene, and everyone's staring at me. And she gets real self-conscious. She gets quiet for a second, and she looks around the bus, and everyone's staring at her. Then she turns around and sits down. And then it's quiet. Yeah, just the way I like it. Quiet for the ride home. Now, she pulls out her phone and she calls someone. I'm guessing she's calling her boyfriend to say, meet me at the stop because there's a guy who just bothered me or whatever. And she gets off the bus, and I see her looking at me and whatever. I so wanted to follow her. Not follow her right up on her, but just far enough to make her nervous. Just to kind of, teach her a fucking lesson. Ugh, dumb broad. So what do all these stories have in common? 3 crazy fucking people, and I dealt with them in different ways. The first person, I got up and I left. Because there's no helping the guy with the shower cap and the bags on his feet. He's done. He's what we call incorrigible. You can't help him. The next guy in the food court, I had to puff up my chest and tell him, get the fuck away from me or I'll break your goddamn neck. And crazy people aren't used to hearing that, so you know what he did? He got the fuck away from me. The third, hot blonde. Ooh, yeah, baby. What's that? You want me inside you? Yeah, hot blonde. And how did I deal with that? I did nothing. I sat back and I let everyone see how crazy she was. And it worked. It shut her up. Now, if I would have started arguing with her, I'm the one who's going to go to jail. The bus driver's going to call the police. I'm a minority, and she's a pretty white girl. I'm going to give you a second to do the math on who goes to jail on that one. Yeah. That's right. Now, as tempted as I was to slap her stupid phone out of her hand, nope. Let her hang herself. And that's the thing with crazy people. If you give them enough rope, they will always hang them fucking selves. So, that's how you deal with crazy, man. You don't. You don't play the game. You don't play the game, man. Don't. You don't box a boxer, someone once said to me. So you don't match crazy with crazy. You isolate them, you leave them alone, and there you go. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, let's get down to some business, man. Hey, my nephew, Keenan, K-Von, Billy, he's got an album out. It's called Burning Up. Yeah, man. Look for it. Get it. It's on Facebook. You can go to SoundCloud. That's right. Just Google SoundCloud Keenan, K-Von, Billy. That is K-A-Y-E, Von, Billy. This album was really good, man. His last release was really good. Man, there's a good song out there that he does called Blunt Factory. It's one of my favorites because he's not just talking about 1 or 2 blunts. He built a factory for it. That's right. Burning Up by Keenan, K-Von, Billy. Check that out. Also for myself, Rave X, your boy. A lot of you been going to the YouTube page. We're up around 940 something. When we hit 1,000, trust me, you would be the first to know. But the newest song I put up there, Old Skull. Oh, yeah. I had to take it down and put it back up, and then take it down and put it back up, because I was having some technical issues. But it's good now. Old Skull, youtube.com/Rave X Music. They're playing me out, kids. You know how this little dance works. So, as I said, I'm packing up the Blackbird Studios, and I'm going to have to pack up this recording equipment the second I finish this podcast. Oh, it's horrible. But then I'm going to get high. Yeah. You want to get high? I'm not going to have a lot of music or podcasts coming out for probably a month and a half, but that's okay. There's plenty on the Podbean site, plenty on the YouTube site to satiate that desire for your boy Rave X. Oh, I just made that sound so dirty, right? Yeah. Anyway, remember this, kids. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. My name's Rave X, and I'm out of here.
That was the Rave X 10-minute podcast. Be sure to click like and subscribe. For podcasts, new music, and all things Rave X, go to youtube.com and search Rave X Music. Free downloads at ravexmusic.podbean.com.